We have.
It's tough.
I
know, I tried.
Everybody.
By the time I'm going to finish quarantine, I won't have any more nails.
Look how nice that is.
Everybody's coming.
Holy, Mama, can I put these lights on?
No. Too much.
I don't think you guys understand. We
No,
have
it's
such
okay.
a nice kitchen to live. You could have done cooking shows or something.
We're doing a cooking show.
That's what we're doing.
No, I'm saying like actually. Like look how nice.
You put it live? It's already live?
Yep.
And you're going to see.
I find you on Facebook, by the way.
You couldn't?
We just
It's-
posted
I
it.
didn't see the link.
Oh, now.
Now it's tagged.
It's now.
Oh, it's
posted.
actually...
It's now.
My
Now-
daughter just connected it.
It's live now.
It's live now.
We are live.
It just took us a few more minutes today.
So today I'm going to be cooking for you. I will... Oh, she's here. No, pas maintenant.
Oh, really?
It's going to be a certain time.
You have to wait for more people to be on the live.
Daniel, regarde qui s'écrit.
Daddy, I love the email where it says if we have any special requests for you to sing. It's like we're at an event.
Amen. But I made a big mistake because when I said that,
What?
you should see how many emails I got. And
They're not Jewish songs.
No, I haven't.
No, everybody's asking him to tape them songs.
I want this one, I want that one, and one of them sent me a very nice email, and then he says, "I'm so sorry, but here's my 10 favorites." so it's going to be a lot.
You know, your Adon Alam, it was sent to me, although I received an email, it was sent to me for my brother in LA. He's editor-in-chief of the Jewish Journal.
Wow.
He sent it to me.
Nice.
I'm getting responses from the UK, from all over the place, and we are like at how many? 84,000 views. And if you get,
It was fantastic.
if we get 100 and plus, we can get
Money.
yeah, but not me, the shul.
It's okay. That's why you're there.
Oh, now I know why I'm there. No, it's gonna look great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
There's
We
the
have,
money coming out and there's the money bringing in.
yeah, we have to bring them in. We have got to bring them in.
Who's the G?
Gladys is over
Gladys,
there.
we can't see you. We can see your G.
Put
Laisse-moi voir
video
si j'ai ça.
on. And take off the mute also. And we're live. We're how many people there? 6 so far. And you can see who it is. Come on, live people. Let's go. We're gonna do this. We're doing great so far. We're gonna have so much fun. Any Muriel? So
I can start?
no. Well, in a couple of minutes, of course.
I'm going to advertise it on my Facebook.
Okay,
Beautiful.
share it on your
And
Facebook.
Marc Perez is on. Our IT guy, the best IT guy in the city.
Okay. Hi, guys. Hi, Mark. Hi, Gladys. Can't see you yet. Hi, Angie.
Angie, da 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 da. Hi, Angie. And anyone here? Oh, the Spanish and Portuguese is saying hello. Hello, my friends. Hello. Hey.
It's on the Spanish.
It's on the Facebook page, on the Spanish page.
Yes, it's on the Spanish page.
Hi, Mordi, my Rehani. How are you? Oh, thank you for being here with us.
Hi, guys, on Facebook. So we're double streaming Facebook and Zoom just to try to get more people viewing the cooking
Vivian, can you
demonstration.
ask your daughter where exactly to find it on Facebook? Because I don't see it on that page.
Okay.
Okay.
I couldn't
So
find
Can
it.
you tag Sandra on my phone? You
It's
can tag
also
Sandra.
it's
Hold
also
on.
on our page,
I'll
eh?
tag her, I'll tag her.
On Danny Benlolo or Muriel Suissa.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So my daughter tagged us on that page too.
Hold on, she's trying to add you.
Gladys, just hit video and
I couldn't find it. I don't see it.
It's there.
No, I couldn't
it's there.
find
Eh?
it.
You're gonna see it. If you leave it on, it'll pop up.
Hold on. Who's not seeing it?
Tell her to go all the way down to
Yeah,
the
I'm
videos.
not.
Go down to videos when you're on the Spanish page.
Yeah, I did go. I tried to follow the link and I couldn't find it.
Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
sure there's
I'm
a.
okay, I'm on Zoom, but I wanted to.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who are navigating this and trying to
It's,
figure it out. Mark,
And Rose.
is Mark there? Yeah, eh? I see him on at the Zoom.
Sandra, you tag? Okay, Sandra, Shira tagged you. And Rose, she's trying to tag you as well.
Oh, okay, I just saw she tagged me. Hold on.
Wow.
Put on my phone.
Rose
What's
Schwartz. Et si tu es sur Schwartz, c'est toi? Simon. Rose Simon Schwartz.
Got it.
You got it.
Okay. Hi guys from Facebook.
It doesn't matter. I'm fine on Zoom. No problem. Don't worry about it.
Sandra is on. Sandra
Okay.
Morabi is in it. Okay, she's there. She's there.
No,
Good.
but Rose, you found her?
No, but she's.
I'm sharing it.
Oh, you're
Good.
sharing
I'm
it. Okay.
doing the watch party.
Wow. Okay, wonderful. Hi everybody.
It's my party.
Although today is not my birthday, I still wanted to share today with you. I was trying to drag it for like more than a few days, but today it's wearing off. Nobody wants to celebrate my birthday for more than maybe a couple of days, so now
Amazing.
we're stretching it to a week. But anyways, I'm really excited to share a couple of recipes with you guys. Today I decided to talk a little bit about the type of dishes that we do for Passover, and
Lisa Katan is
as
on.
well we try to
19.
I'll try to inspire you guys with a couple of main courses and just let you know how you can tweak your recipes to make them Passover.
Oh.
So
You should.
the beauty of Sephardic cooking is that we normally use a lot of protein and vegetables and starch already during the year in a lot of our recipes. So, you know, changing it up for Passover is not so hard because, you know, we can use all types of meats and chicken and fish, and we can use all types of vegetables, and we can use as well, you know, potatoes, sweet potatoes, squashes to replace, you know, starch or anything that has wheat base. Us in our home, from where we come in Morocco, we don't use corn, and we don't use rice, and we don't use legumes, so dried vegetables, but we use fresh beans, so fresh or frozen lima beans, fresh or frozen green beans, fresh or frozen peas, but we don't use them in the version that if they're dried, and we also don't use, like I said, corn and rice. We use quinoa, and we use, hi Amy, how are you? And we use all kinds of, like I said, meats and chicken and fish and vegetables. So our dishes, they don't vary that much from regular year to Passover, because our Shabbat meal will be, you know, very similar. We'll have a fish entree, we'll serve some olives, sometimes we cook chickpeas, but for the holidays we won't, because that's a legume. But we'll cook a cooked carrot or something that's also from the earth, and we'll be able to do prayers like Sheakol and Etz and Adama, just to add a little bit to our holiday table and our Shabbat table.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Gloria.
Hi, Amy. Now, what I'm going to do,
أهلا وسهلا.
Hello, Rosie.
Okay.
Hi. Hi, Ellie.
So we're going. So go ahead. So go ahead. We also have.
Okay, so Hazak Melon, you're going to be singing while Gloria is cooking?
Are
So-
you lonesome tonight? So we're gonna do is we're gonna mute everybody so that we can we hear her, and then after that we're gonna sing some songs together.
So we're gonna put the mute just so that I can show you guys a little bit of the recipe and the ingredients we're gonna be using. And then after that we're gonna ask some questions, and we'll unmute at that time so that you guys can ask me what you want, or so that you can request maybe a song for Kenchib and Lolo to sing, okay?
Okay.
So today I chose 2 different dishes. I'm going to feature main courses. So one will be with chicken and one will be with minced meat. I like to utilize vegetables a lot as sort of a base for my food or for my meat. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make eggplant boats with meat and sort of a parve cauliflower sauce over. And I'm going to show you how to make a chicken and fennel baked dish in the oven. I'm also going to show you what I do with zucchinis and with minced meat, and just to give you a few ideas that you can make for the holiday meals. So I'm going to start with the minced meat that we're going to prep, that's going to go on top of our eggplant. I'm just going to check something in the oven because I've been prepping a couple of things that take a long time.
This is what they need.
Okay, so for the dish, we're going to need 1 medium onion, and I'm going to dice the onion. Anytime I'm using a white onion because this is what I have, but a Spanish onion, or really basically anything you have. These days, when you go to the store, you can't really find all the types of fruits, vegetables. You have to use your imagination and substitute. I find when you substitute, the dish is still going to come out perfect. All you need is to cook it with a little bit of love, because when you do that, then your food is always going to taste great.
I was doing this with Gina this morning, so I don't know why you didn't see.
Okay. Si vous dites ça, quelque chose d'autre, on fait ça.
Muriel, you need to mute everybody, otherwise it cuts you off.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
We're gonna do that, and we'll get to you guys after that.
Okay, so I'm going to turn my burner on, and I'm going to start sauteing the onion.
I'm the helper.
So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of oil. Use whichever oil you have, vegetable oil or olive oil or grapeseed oil, an oil that resists heat. And once the oil warms, we're going to add the onion. I'm also going to prep 2 garlic cloves, and I'm going to mince them. And once the onions become translucent, I'm going to add the onion cloves, or the minced garlic. Sorry.
So as we are approaching, as we're doing this, and we're approaching the Passover, Pesach, we can sing a song from Pesach. There's a beautiful song called Vehi She'amda. And Vehi She'amda, there's so many different ways of singing it, but one of them is from a singer, a great singer called Yonatan Reizel, and I had the privilege of singing with him in concert in one of the shows that he did. And it goes like this: Vehi she'amda lavotenu, Vehi she'amda לאבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו, והיא שעמדה לאבותינו, והיא שעמדה לאבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו. One more? Or והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו ומצילנו מידם. It's a great time to sing that song. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מצילנו מידם. La 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 Good timing, mademoiselle.
Great timing, because now my oil is warm, and I added the diced onion, and the onion is starting to cook. I didn't add the garlic yet. I'm going to add that in a minute.
And you have to tell Raphael Benissi, who's watching, so he can cook instead of his wife, so that he can help her.
I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I find it helps the onion cook down. So I'm going to...
Hi, Susie Shore.
We're
Nice
going
to
to
see you.
post the recipe after the demonstration on the
website.
comments and on the Spanish Facebook page. But I'm going to tell you what we're going to be using today. So besides the onion that we diced and 2 cloves of garlic that we minced, I'm going to be putting the meat that we're going to saute with it. So I'm using 1 pound of ground beef because I'm not going to do a big demonstration. But for the recipe, it calls for 2 pounds of ground beef. You can use, actually, if you can find, in these days, like I said, you have to be a little bit creative. Not everything is in the stores. So normally for this recipe, I use ground lamb, but I don't have any. So I'm going to use ground beef. You can also use ground veal. And if somebody doesn't eat red meat, you can substitute with ground turkey or ground chicken easily. And during the year, if you're vegetarian, you can saute some chopped up mushrooms as well that you can add to the onions and the garlic. That will replace your meat or your chicken, and it will make your dish j'ai besoin d'eau. And if not, you can also use fake meat.
The fake meat.
But during the Passover, for a parve option, then use the chopped up or very finely chopped mushrooms. Okay, so my onions is my onions is starting to
caramelize.
No,
No,
I don't
not
want
yet.
them. I don't want them to change color.
Don't listen to me. That's why I said that. I said it because I don't want you to listen to me.
I only want them to become pale to start to cook. I don't want them to caramelize because I don't want it to have that strong caramelized taste to overpower this dish. The other flavors are going to be the more important flavors.
Exactly. Oh.
How long has he been sleeping for? Since 3:10 or 3:15. I'm going to add the 2 cloves of minced garlic. So I peeled them and I crushed them. And if anybody just joined, I added a pinch of salt to the onion and the garlic.
40 people.
Hi, Facebook friends. I can't see the comments, but what I'll do is after the presentation, or if somebody can look at it while I'm doing it, if there's questions, write them down, and I'll answer them as we go
I'm
along.
gonna stay. 40 people.
Okay.
Plus like 10.
So while this cooks down, I'm going to tell you what I did with the eggplant. So like I said, we're going to be using our eggplant as the base of our meat. So this could be done during the year with lasagna, and you can actually layer it. Or you can actually do also, if you want to construct it like a lasagna but using the eggplant, you could slice it. I just like the idea of boats because when you're serving it at the table for the holiday, it's very pretty. Each person is going to get, I choose my eggplants not to be too big. I choose them to be smaller in size. I'm going to show you how I pick them. So I normally choose them to be, I would say, about a medium size, smallish. And when you cut them in half and you bake them, each boat is actually one serving, so you don't have to cut it. If you can't and you find very big ones, bake them as well, but then when you're going to be serving, cut them in half because that's to be too much for one person. But the end result is going to be beautiful. So what I did before the presentation started, I took an eggplant that I sliced lengthwise in half, and then I poked it, and on the cut side I put some oil and some salt. And then cut side down, I put it on parchment paper, and I baked it at 350 for 30 minutes. And I'm going to show you the end result because it's actually quite beautiful. The end result, this is the way the eggplant is going to appear when it's going to be like roasted and very tender. And that's going to be our base where I'm going to be putting my mincemeat stuffing. Okay, so I'm just showing you now. So like I said, I cut it lengthwise in half. I put oil and salt. I then turned it around, cut side down on my parchment paper, and baked it for 350 for 30 minutes. Depending on the size of the eggplant, adjust your timing of cooking, but that's what I needed for my size of eggplant. Now that my onion and my garlic is cooked down, I'm going to add my beef. So again, the recipe, so for 1 onion is 2 cloves of garlic minced and 2 pounds of ground beef.
Or you click on the participants.
And that recipe is good for 4 boats. So 2 eggplants cut in half, 2 eggplant cut in half, and baked prior to starting the sauce.
I have to look at if I'm doing something. Can I also do?
Okay, so now I'm going to break down the meat, and it's going to take on the flavors of the onion, it's going to take on the flavor of the garlic.
Miri from Israel is watching too.
Oh, how nice! Hi, Miri!
And Isabelle Adi from our choir, the Montreal Shira Choir,
Hi,
is
Isabel.
watching. Oh my goodness, Brian Lamb, Nathaniel Larouche, Phyllis Keller, Susie Sorchauvet, Raphael Benisti,
Hi, everybody! I
Marcus
love you
Herzer.
people.
You better sing something. So you have a lot of beautiful people all over watching. And you know what? While we're in isolation, this is the best time for us to get together like this, as if we were in our kitchen, and we're in your home. So
I use a potato masher when I want to break down my meat. It's just so much easier and makes it a great consistency and easier than the fork. At the end, I'll use the fork when the meat is cooked, but this is a great way to break it down. So to this meat, once it cooks and it's no longer red, I'm going to add a small can of diced tomato. Here. It's too bad you guys are not in the kitchen though, because the smell is really great. Plus what I have in the oven is also smelling really, really yummy. But soon after that, I'll make a live in-person, and then we'll get to eat together and share a meal, which I can't wait. So drain,
Yeah.
drain.
Drain it. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how to open a can. Alright. We're draining now the water from the can.
Now for Passover, if you pre-purchase, you can use canned tomatoes with a kosher symbol for the year. Or if you find, you can use kosher for Passover, but it's one of the items that we can use from year round. Ah, j'ai fait tomber.
Laisse-moi faire ça un petit peu. Yes, of course.
Okay, so maybe it's a good time while this cooks down that Daniel sings another,
Yes,
maybe
yeah.
another Passover song.
Yeah, you know what? Because yesterday, I know that we sang Behishe Amda, but yesterday when I was singing with the young choir of the synagogue on Zoom, we sang Ilu Hotzi Hotzianu Mi Mitzrayim Hotzianu Mi Mitzrayim Dayenu 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 Dayenu. I can see people singing on Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people are singing over there.
So I'm adding a small can of 500 milliliters of diced tomato, and Daniel was kind enough to drain it, so you don't need the liquid. This is going to cook down for about 15 minutes, and we're going to start on the other recipe. What I'm going to do for seasoning, I'm going to use 1 bay leaf. And the bay leaf you have to remove before you're going to be plating this dish. It's only here for flavoring. I'm going to add a little bit of chicken powder. I use Parve chicken powder, but you can use a chicken-based chicken powder. Then I use a little bit of turmeric, so khurkum, and then I use a little bit of paprika, and a little bit of cumin.
I'm gonna take the Facebook Live people a little bit closer, so we
Now-
can watch the inside of the pan
Now,
and see what's
What I'm
happening.
going to do as well is I'm going to put a few small thyme sprigs that I'm going to put to the pan. So I'm going to mix all of this together. So inside again is a diced, it's 2 tablespoons of olive oil or whichever oil you have, vegetable oil, grapeseed oil, 1 medium-sized diced onion, 2 cloves of garlic minced, 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 small can of diced tomato. I added a bay leaf, a few thyme sprigs. There was a little bit of salt before when the onions was sauteing. Then now there's turmeric, paprika, chicken powder, and a bit of cumin. And I'm going to add to this 1 big tablespoon of tomato paste. And that's going to give it the color and a bit of the more in-depth tomato flavor. So once I'm going to mix all of this, I'm going to let it do its magic. I'm going to cover the pan. And like I said, we're going to cook it down for about 15 minutes. And it's already smelling really delicious. It's already looking really delicious. And I really hope you guys get to try this recipe because it's really beautiful. Where did I put my cover? There's my cover. So again, I'm going to just let it be. Now for the sauce that's going to go on top, because this is a kosher kitchen, because also we don't mix meat and milk, most of the time when you find a recipe like that, you'll find like a bechamel kind of dairy cream sauce over it. I'm going to tweak it and I'm going to use cauliflower as my base for my bechamel sauce. So what I did is I took half, for the quantity that we're making now, for 4 boats, so 2 eggplants cut in half, I took half of a small head of cauliflower that I boiled until tender. To that, I'm going to add, okay, so what I forgot here though in the meat is a little bit of wine. It calls for a 1/4 cup of red wine. Now if you don't like it and you don't want to use alcohol,
I like it.
for the sauce, just use water or even chicken stock. It will still taste really flavorful. So for my cauliflower base, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. So salt and pepper to taste. Everybody's taste is different. If you don't use salt for medical or dietary reasons, you can use substitute, you know, like a no salt kind of substitute. And I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper. Now it calls for 1/2 cup of any type of substitute for milk. So I use soya when it's not Passover, or almond and coconut milk when it's Passover. And it calls for a 1/4 cup for that quantity. Now if you're making a little bit more or a bigger head of cauliflower, then just use 1/2 cup. Tweak it so that it's not too liquidy. You can always add liquid, but at this point I'm going to put less rather than more, and then if I see the consistency is not what I want, I'm going to add a little bit to it. Okay, now I'm giving you quantities, but I'm not great at measuring because I just like to put it in. I'm more visual, but now I need to add to this sauce an egg yolk. So I'm going to prepare my egg.
Oh shit, yeah, what'd you do?
So I take a clear bowl so I can make sure that the egg is kosher. I'm going to separate the white and the yolk. And I'm only going to use the yolk. Okay. And because this sauce is going to cook in the oven with the meat a little bit after we stuff our eggplant, then the yolk is going to cook. Now I'm going to make a little bit of noise.
Oh, I wanted to say something. What is this?
In a minute.
Oh.
I'm going to make a little bit of noise. Hi, Momo.
She always makes a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know.
Yeah.
This is what's up.
So you're going to see it's actually the cauliflower is going to add flavor, but it's still going to have the consistency of a bechamel.
Bechamel mucho. You know, this whole isolation thing is sometimes a blessing. It's a blessing because we are able to see family more often and be home, and even do a lot of our work, but then in the midst of doing one thing and another, in the meantime we see family.
We share
We're
it with our
able-
kids, sit
we're
down,
able-
we
yeah.
have meals with them 3 times a day.
You
We're
know,
all in
I-
the same house working, so
In my work, we never had the chance to have a sit-down dinner.
not every day. We
Yeah.
try as much as we can, but if Daniel's teaching or if there's services and the kids are hungry, they start without him. But these few weeks, we've been sitting down, breakfast, lunch, and supper together, and it's been great. We've started the conversation. Canterbury Lolo is becoming an alcoholic. He's been drinking our Passover wine before Passover
That's
starts.
so not true.
And I told him that at the rate he's going, we're going to be drinking grape juice for Passover, because there's not going to be any
חס
wine.
ושלום, חס ושלום, חס ושלום. מזמור לדוד, אבו לעמוני בני אלים, אבו לעמוני, כבוד ועוז, אבו לעמוני, כבוד שמו ישתחוו לעמוני, בהדרת קודש. What are we doing now?
So now we're just waiting for this to cook down, and I'm going to talk to you about the second recipe that I'm going to share with you.
Second recipe.
So the second recipe that I'm going to share with you is a chicken recipe. So it's a chicken recipe with one of my favorite vegetable.
We're gonna say hi to Sophia from
Hi, Sophia.
all the way from Belgium.
So the second recipe that I'm going to share with you guys is chicken and fennel baked in the oven. It's actually smelling so delicious in my house because I prepped one of it now, because it's going to take too much time if we start it now for the finished product to come out. I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to make it, but I'm going to show you the end result as well. So I don't know if you guys can see this beautiful dish. So the base is fennel and roasted chicken. It smells divine. It's the easiest recipe you're going to learn how to make, and I hope you're going to try it because it's really delicious.
שבתי ירושלים את עמוניים הללי אלוקי ציון. This is how it looked before it went into the oven.
So I'm using drumstick and bone-in upper thigh. I'm going to be prepping now what's going to go inside the dish. I actually have 6 pieces here because I divided between what I pre-baked for you guys and to show you, and then this. For 6 pieces, I'm going to use half of a large fennel head. Where's my fennel? It's right here. So
Please let me cut.
the fennel, I cut the top branches off. You can use those for decoration, the dill-looking kind of fronds, and then you cut this off, you clean it, and for the recipe it calls for 1 bulb, but I divided the recipe in half because I pre-baked half of it. So I'm going to quarter the fennel. I'm going to make like thin quarters, or thin, wedges, not quarters. I meant wedges. So prep them like this, like a wedge, like a wedge size. That's going to go on the bottom of your pan. C'est mieux de ne pas l'amener. Okay, so I washed my chicken, I cut it up, I washed my fennel, and then I'm going to add it to the bottom of my pan, all around the chicken. Try to place the fennel all around your chicken, on the bottom and on the sides. Fill the pan. Make sure that you have a pan that's big enough so that it doesn't overcrowd the chicken, and place, like I said, the fennel and the chicken all around.
Liane, did you leave the skin on the chicken?
Yes, I did. Actually adds a little bit of flavor, and when it finishes to bake, because I bake it uncovered, the skin gets crispy and golden, and it's really beautiful. Now, if again, you're trying to reduce your oil or cholesterol intake and you want to take it off, just maybe start the baking of the chicken covered so that it doesn't dry while it's starting to cook, and then uncover it the last 15 minutes of the bake.
I just want to say for the people in Zoom, if you have a question like you did was a perfect scenario, you just take off your mute button, ask the question, and then put mute back on. And like that we can hear it's very quiet. And if there's somebody in the Facebook Live that would like to ask a question, and I've seen already some questions, please type them up and we will answer them. If it's not during the show, it's right after the show, and we will type all the questions and the answers to your questions.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
now on top of my dish, I'm going to put, for flavoring, I'm going to put rosemary branch, and I'm going to put a couple of thyme. If you do not have fresh herbs, don't hesitate to put in the sauce dried herbs. So the sauce calls for half a cup of apricot jam. Now, if you don't have apricot jam, but you have a sweet and sour or a spicy duck sauce, which the base is also apricot based, use that instead. So again, half a cup of apricot jam or the duck sauce. We're gonna add a teaspoon of the chicken powder base. If you don't use that, then season a little bit more with the salt. So I put a little bit of a combination of both. I'm going to use a little bit of turmeric for color, and I'm going to be putting 2 cloves of garlic crushed. So the crushed garlic is going to go in my sauce.
This is amazing because usually she doesn't let me in the kitchen. So I'm very happy to be able to do these shows, and maybe we can do this every night or every day.
Pretty sure you're showing off at this point, because definitely you won't be in the kitchen with me every day. He's showing off. I'm telling you guys, Kenji Ben Lolo is trying to show off. He's going to want to help me every day in the kitchen. But once this show is going to finish, he's probably not even going to help me with the dishes. Yeah. Yeah.
The boss.
As you can see, in the house, there are 2 players. The cantor bee that shows off, and the boss. There we go.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So I have half a cup of apricot jam or the duck sauce. I have a little bit of salt or chicken powder, some turmeric, 2 cloves of garlic crushed. What is it? 2 cloves of garlic crushed. I have as well the juice of half a lemon. Now, during the year, feel free to use the brine of capers. It gives a lovely taste to this dish. I'm not able to find capers this year for Passover, so I'm going to use the lemon.
Yeah,
So
I need
again,
the coconut.
half a lemon juiced in my sauce.
Smells amazing.
Beautiful. It's really beautiful. And then a little bit of oil that I'm going to drizzle on the chicken directly after I mix my sauce.
Where's your? You ready?
And it calls for a little bit of white wine. because I don't have a bottle of white wine open and I don't want to waste it before Passover, I'll open it for the Chag, but I don't have my kitchen is not kosher for Passover yet, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use only water at the end on the bottom of my pan. But what I'm going to do is pour my sauce. No, actually, I forgot one ingredient, guys. A little bit of honey or maple syrup, whichever one you have.
Or Coca-Cola.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, so we're going to add 1 tablespoon of honey or maple syrup. And again, I'm going to shake my sauce.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake your honey. Shake your honey.
Shake your sauce.
Shake your sauce, I mean.
Okay,
Smells
so.
like duck sauce, eh? It
Yeah.
smells like, so good.
Okay, so try to put it a little bit on the.
Oui, mais c'est ça qui est bon. The more you put, the better it tastes.
Okay, so now I'm going to drizzle a tiny bit of oil over the chicken and the fennel. Okay?
And on va poster la recette. We're going to post the recipe, so don't worry about it. Il n'y a pas de problème, bien sûr.
Okay, so now I'm going to put salt a little bit over the chicken and the fennel. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper to finish the dish.
Wow.
And now my dish is ready to go in the oven, but I'm going to add a little bit of water. But the recipe calls for white wine. But if you don't use wine, you could use chicken stock or water.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vanna White. Come on in.
So this is what it looks like before it's cooked. So again, it even looks delicious raw. It's so beautiful. The colors are great. So it's the chicken, the fennel, the herbs, and all the seasoning.
Before and after. Before and after. Ok. Monsieur Ouziel, mettez le mute.
Okay, so my sauce has cooked down, and we're ready to assemble my eggplant boats. I'm going to remove the bay leaf.
Put it in my wine.
No.
No?
And I'm going to remove the thyme sprigs.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair?
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. And we can do it in Hebrew. ושמנו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Okay, so I've removed my bay leaf, I removed my thyme. My sauce is ready. I'm going to turn my element off. And now I'm going to show you how to assemble this.
A quick little visitations here on
So this is how my sauce looks. It's absolutely divine. It smells and looks delicious.
all right,
These
we're
are
going to say
my
that.
eggplant boats. Again, the recipe calls for 4 half. I'm only going to show you the recipe for 2, or how to assemble 2. So I've pre-baked the eggplant. Again, a little bit of olive oil, salt, cut side down on parchment, baked at 350 for 30 minutes. Now I'm going to top it with the meat.
Ooh. Now I'm hungry.
It's for Shabbat.
Okay.
You're going to have to wait till tomorrow.
Okay, and then what do we do with that?
So now I'm showing you how to prep it. If you're not going to serve it on the same day, I suggest you can pre-make your meat filling. You can even pre-bake your eggplant and then assemble it the day that you're going to be serving it. Now, for my topping is going to be my cauliflower puree. There's one little piece that didn't get there. Okay, so now I'm going to put that on top. Okay, look how beautiful this looks. Now I'm going to take just a little bit of pepper, put it over like this. I'm going to put this down 2 minutes. I'm going to chop up whatever you have, parsley or cilantro. You choose which herb you like. Could even be a little bit of dill. Depends on your preference. Here at the house of the Benlolos, we use a lot of cilantro, like coriander. It's a herb that we really like a lot, especially for my Moroccan or Sephardic dishes. Now, during the, throughout the day, I can go from basil and parsley and dill and cilantro, but for this dish, we're going to use today a little bit of cilantro. Then I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro over the top. And now this is going to go in the oven just a little bit to cook and warm up. Everything is cooked besides the egg yolk that we put on the sauce, but we're going to put it in the oven for a few minutes and I'm going to show you the end result in a second. So again, as you can see, the eggplant boats are stuffed with the meat and the cauliflower bechamel sauce, topped with a little bit of fresh herb, and it looks and smells divine. Divine. So, I'm going to show you one last thing. I would love to get some questions or feedback. Maybe if you have, suggestion or a question on what you're going to be preparing for the holiday or what your tradition is, share it with us now. I guess you can unmute if you want to share with us what you make, or if you have again a question for me. Or type it on Facebook and my lovely assistant is going to be sharing the question with me.
Is that me or that's
No, it's the lovely one over there. Questions on Facebook?
Yeah, somebody asked. I just read before. Somebody asked if we can have the some of the recipes written down so that they can see it and then they can actually.
So the recipes are going to be typed, and or actually, I'm going to write them up and I'm going to send them to Mark, and we're going to put them on our Facebook, Spanish and Portuguese Facebook page, and you'll be able to view them. The video actually from last week. And the recipes are also up, and you can see the dishes that I prepared last week, the recipes that I used. If for any reason you can't find it, don't hesitate to send Canterbello or I a separate message or an email, and I'll be able to share it with you guys gladly. Again, feel free, like I said, to substitute. Sorry?
You should also join our mailing list on our website.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. That's a very good question. Yeah. And how do you get to do that, Mark, exactly, to join our mailing list?
They go to our website, www.thespanish.org.
So www.thespanish.org, and then you just have to like the
No, that's the website.
Yeah. And then you have to just ask to
enter their email address.
Okay, and enter your email address.
Is there a link for the add to the contact or the mailing list on the website?
I will post it on Facebook and inside.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful, that's great.
thank you so much. Marc Perez is our IT guy and the specialist and amazing, amazing person. He has a beautiful company. We'll post that also. And if there's anything that you need for IT, that's the man. Anyway, so right after this, what do we have? Are we tasting anything, Miriam?
No.
No. So this is exactly like my regular day. Muriel, can I have something? No.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, that's always happening.
Actually, whoever knows
thought
Daniel
maybe-
knows he has not so much of a six-pack, and that's because I do feed him.
I would like to say something about this. If you don't
I
mind.
do
Excuse me.
feed him. You're gonna become faint
Excuse
because
me.
you're bringing your tummy in.
Excuse me. It's not a six.
You got there.
I just said sorry.
It's a very nice kid. It's a very nice kid you have, Kazan.
Well, thank you. It's not exactly. It's not a six-pack. It's a keg, and I have to tell you that I'm very proud. It's
Yes.
very. It's a long time on the making. We have a lot of beautiful things happening at the Spanish and Portuguese Synagogue website and on our Facebook Live and our Zoom. We have so much going on, and we would like you to click and log on and sing with us. A lot of the things, and there's a lot of songs that we've posted, and like our YouTube link, especially our songs. So far, Mark, where are we at our Adon Olam song so far?
I think we are a few hundred, no, 100 short of 40K
Oh,
views.
No. Views? I think you were...
wow. What was the views? Yeah? Wow. Let's do it. Let's get it to 100, right?
100,000 for sure.
Let's do it. Let's do the 1,000K views. 100,000. That's what I meant. 100,000.
So,
100,000.
Yeah.
I know that someone asked me, what other vegetable can I use if I don't like eggplant? And so eggplant is or you love it or you don't love it. And so I'm going to show you what you can use instead of eggplant. Instead of eggplant, you can use zucchini. I take a zucchini, you wash it very well. I do the yes, I love him, no, I don't. 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 Yes, I love him. So you do the yes, I love him, no, I don't. Yes, I love him. Sometimes you drive me crazy.
This is so stressful. So stressful. She loves me, she doesn't love me, she loves me, she doesn't.
You cut it in half as well, the same as the eggplant. I normally take a little bit of the seeds off. I find it's too watery, and then there's not enough place for my stuffing to go.
Wow, we're doing a lot today.
I know.
This is amazing.
And then...
Can we invite everyone to please come and have supper with us?
Yeah, after this virus is gone.
Yes.
So then you put a little bit of olive oil and a bit of salt upside down on the parchment paper, bake it in the oven, careful that it doesn't burn or overcook. This will take about the same time as the eggplant. Take it out like I did, stuff it, and rebake it, and there you have, then you have another alternative if you don't eat or if you don't like eggplant. Also these days, I find that when you go to the supermarket, you don't really know what you're going to find. So be creative. You can also do it with half of tomatoes or half of onions. Just the principle is if it's tomato that you're using, you don't have to pre-bake them too long because they're going to bake more quickly than an eggplant or a zucchini.
Miriam, Miriam, we have a question. We have a question here from Sarah Reva. How are you, Sarah? Nice to see you. Well, you know what I mean. Don't you remove the seeds from the eggplant before you put the meat on top?
No, not for the not for this recipe.
Do you? Sorry.
No. So when I bake my eggplant, I really, because I choose a small, very firm eggplant, I normally, those firm, small eggplants don't have a lot of seeds in it. So I cut it, prick it, put the oil and the salt, put it upside down, and I don't remove anything. It's gonna, when it bakes, it's gonna cook down, and it's actually going to be very delicious when you stuff it.
Liba says hello, and we hi
Hi.
Liba. And Michael Gracehammer from Jerusalem.
Oh, hi, Michael.
So this man is
He's an
amazing.
awesome singer and violinist.
Awesome.
And beautiful.
If you have a
and
chance to look at the
him and his wife's
his website, yeah. If you
Wow.
have a chance to look at his website or Facebook, you can see Michael Grail, so Greilsammer. Amazing music, fabulous. And Sharon, your cousin, our little cousin, is here.
Hi, Sharon.
Woo! Woohoo! It's hot in
Okay.
the kitchen.
So this is ready. Like I said, it only takes a few minutes. It's too bad you guys can't smell it. Like we have to find a way to get the smell into your kitchen. The dish looks delicious. It
Divine.
smells delicious.
Divine.
I'm pretty sure Daniel hopes he's gonna get a little piece
Just a
before
little,
the end
just
of the
a little
day.
We want to say a big hello to Mindy Kane from Ottawa, and we also have Audrey Kreisman and Maureen Katz. Oh my God, all these wonderful people that are like watching from Ottawa, from Jerusalem, from Paris. Wonderful people, and of course our beautiful people from the Spanish and Portuguese. My goodness, hello.
So I just want to finish my demonstration by wishing all of you guys Chag Kasher V'Sameach. I know this holiday is going to feel and it's going to be a little bit different or a lot different. Normally our table is full with family and friends. We get invited, we invite, we sometimes do even a community seder, and this time we're going to be, sharing it with sometimes not even all of our loved ones, sometimes just some of them, some of the kids, because the other ones are going to be in their homes or wherever they're isolating. But Passover is my favorite holiday. I find it's the holiday of renewal. It's a holiday of new beginnings. It comes with spring. It's a great way to purge from everything you've accumulated during the winter. Purge and clean the house, make it bright. It's a holiday that I love as well because the food has amazing flavor. Because we switch over our spices during that time of the year, because we change over not only our spices but everything in the house. We buy it fresh, we buy it new, we make sure that we make beautiful dishes. I just love the food of Passover. I love the taste, I love the way the house looks pretty and clean, and I love hosting. So I'm going to pray with each and every one of you that everybody that's affected in our immediate community and also around the world gets healed and has a speedy and complete recovery.
Amen.
And I'm going to pray as well that this will be the only holiday moving forward that we're going to be celebrating in isolation or quarantined or without family and friends, that it's the last little stretch that we're going to see an end to this really quickly, that we're all going to come out safe, healthy, and I still would like and wish and hope that each and every one of you is going to find a way to still stay happy and still celebrate the holiday the way that it's prescribed, because it is mandated Hashem for us to celebrate it in a happy way. And I again, from our home to yours, we wish you Chag Kasher V'Sameach.
And as we end this beautiful show, and we want to thank you, Muriel, for this wonderful cooking experience. Every time, if I live here, watching her is an amazing sight to see. And we want to finish with, when we finish the Haggadah, at the finish of the Haggadah, we sing the Shana Haba'a B'Yerushalayim. The next year, we should all be in Jerusalem. And this is a beautiful song as
So
we end.
you can unmute and you can sing with us if you want.
As we end the Haggadah.
Unmute and sing.
And as we end the
The
cooking
dance.
session, I want to sing Avir Harim Tzalul Kayayin Vereyachoranim Nisa Beruach Arba'im Min Kol Pa'amonim ובתרדמת אילן ואבן שבויה בחלומה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור הלא לכל שירייך אני כינור לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה שנה טובה, שנה טובה.
No, חג שמח,
You know
חג
what?
כשר ושמח.
Actually, Pesach is supposed to be the real Shana Tova.
No, I know. The renewal.
The renewal.
So I hope we have a great holiday.
Amen.
Chag kasher v'sameach, and we'll see you at our next demonstration, and hopefully really soon, live and not virtual. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you.
My
Bye.
Best hour of my day so far.
Oh, I